Gotta hit it like tap it in the zone. Share it with the world, make the vibe known. Subscribe to the beat, feel it in your phone. Catch the wave we throw, you ain't alone. Like, share, and subscribe. Keep the rhythm alive, we thrive. Hop on this digital ride. Let's multiply the vibe worldwide. Gotta hit it like tap it in the zone. Share it with the world, make the vibe known. Subscribe to the beat, feel it in your phone. Catch the wave we throw, you ain't alone. Like, share, and subscribe. Keep the rhythm alive, we thrive. Hop on this digital ride. Let's multiply the vibe worldwide.
We got them waiting. Took a little minute, was patient, but now we take it. Anytime we want this game, my situation is entertainment intertwined with information. Alchemist soul, how we move the tassel and roll. It's amazing how we can turn something brass to gold. And we steady making hits. Architect with the prop and the scripts. It's logical that the product will flip. My boy Chef did the lineup. I'm fresh in the bitch. Carnivorous podcast and new is showing the list. DQ on the boat, so I'm rocking the ship. While the music gon' be dope and the artist legit. Hold my beer, concrete chord, then stepped in the door. See, that's my man and he reppin' for show. And true saviors are playing with flavor. Lexicon Taylor, lines on point like a laser. We need that paper, we building the vault. Cause you niggas don't listen, y'all be waiting to talk. Lack accountability and try to make it our fault. But opposing us is trying to arm wrestle the hawk. You coming up short on your re-up, nigga we up. Really wouldn't want to be up. I kick my feet up. My beef is wagyu and my truck is all speakers. Bills is all blue and my blunt is all reefer. With possible deniability, that boy eater. High quality whack juice by the liter. They like to call us ops, we got Oppenheimer features. Test the bomb out on the island just to teach you.
What is up? What is up? Make sure my audio is good. Let me just double check. Yeah, might be even be too loud. Let me adjust that. Hope everyone is doing well. Peace to the chat. Peace to everyone watching on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Peace to my Tri Media brothers, Brass, DQ, Logic. What's up, y'all? Hope everyone had a good day, having a good evening. This should be a short show. Not a whole lot of teaching. We're going to go through the process. Um, you can watch some of the prior videos to get more background information on the different GPTs, how they work, best use cases. Actually, in the description, I believe I put a link for a best use case for different social media platforms. In a prior show, I put a link for best use cases for the different GPTs. So now you have one for GPTs, you have one for the different social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I'll show you guys that before we leave today. But today we're going to create a custom GPT from scratch. You can substitute your information for my information, for what I'm going to use today. And it's not all the way always educational, purposes. It could be for your personal use, things that you're interested in that you may not feel like going through a whole lot of literature word for word, and you want to interact with that information. And if we remember from prior episodes, we know that GPTs are conversational. That's what makes them useful and different than normal search engine. So we keep that in mind when we're using the GPT. We're using it because it's conversational. It should be easier to use than, say, a Google search when we're interacting with the information that's in the GPT. So with that being said, let's start from scratch, right? This is the OpenAI ChatGPT main website. So whoever's not signed up for ChatGPT, you can go to openai.com/ChatGPT and get a free account. They have a paid upgrade that gives you better access. It moves you through the line because these things use so much data. There's only so much bandwidth. So sometimes you may get pushed to the back of the line. You may have to wait for a response. Um, you have a limit on how much you can interact with it on a daily basis on the free versions. So the paid versions give you, the upgrades give you more benefits. So I think it's $20 a month. But you go to OpenAI. Let me go on the same page. You can create an account. That's the start now button down here. I already have an account, so it's going to go right to my account. I'm hearing the echo over here. All right. I need to see you guys. Let me go into the comments so I can make sure y'all there. What's up, Rush? All right. This is the page that it'll open up to once you have an account, whether you have the free version or the paid version. This toggle switch up here lets you know which version you're using at the time. They actually have new versions now. Maybe the last 3 or 4 days, they added these two versions here: O1 Preview, O1 Mini. These are more geared toward reasoning tasks, maybe in science, maybe some math. They're slower, but they basically what they do is double, triple check themselves and redo the process before they give you an answer. So it's like a double check. It takes more time to run through the process a few more times. But these are new. Preview and Mini. I haven't used them yet because 4.0 has been working fine. Auto, optimized for speed and intelligence. More models, mini, GPT-4, right? So this is how you know what version you're on. Or you can switch between the versions that you have available to you. Some people may ask, why are there different versions? The numbered versions, from what I can see, like 4.0 came from 4, which came from like 3.5, which came from like 3. It's basically, it's trained on newer information, more information. These specific ones are trained to access and deal with information in a different manner. Self-explanatory. O1 Mini, faster at reasoning. O1 Preview uses advanced reasoning for whatever task you want to use. But for our purposes, to create a custom GPT, we're just going to use 4.0. To get to our custom GPT page, or to know or to see what custom GPTs we use or have open already, or that we save to our sidebar. This is our sidebar over here. They would be here. If you don't see the sidebar, this is your toggle up here, left-hand corner, sidebar, right? There we go. To get to our custom GPT page, to see our custom GPTs, to create GPTs, and to see other people's custom GPTs, we explore GPTs right there. Boom. Like I said, mine, we can create. Is my camera on? I don't need my camera on. And these are GPTs that companies have created, or people like me and you after today, right? So if you want something specific, but you don't feel like building it, search to see if someone created one already. These are 2. Look at mine right at the top. That boy good. I made one called Music Biz Mentor. I'll look at that later. It's basically a bunch of information uploaded about the music business that people can access that information. And because it's a GPT, conversate with that information in a way that's more understandable to us, like record contracts or royalties and performance rights, things of that nature. But that was one I made. And then there's one conspiracy corner that I made, which we're going to have some shows coming up based on conspiracies. And I think this last week news cycle between presidential candidates, rap stars, there's a lot of conspiracies going on. So we're going to have some fun with those shows, and we're going to use the GPT to help us through that. So this page is our GPT page, where we can search GPTs that are already created by other businesses and individuals. My GPTs, these are mine that I made. And if you look next to it, you notice it says for everyone. That means it's open to everyone. Only me is one that I may use. So again, then there's another option where anyone with the link can use one of my custom GPTs. I don't have that power for a GPT that someone else created, right? Only mine, I get to set the access level. That's all that is. Who has access? The public, only me, or whoever I share the link with. So keep that in mind when we make our GPT, right? So those are mine. So let's go back to Explore. Top right-hand corner, create. It's going to bring us to the creation screen. It's blank. There are 2 ways to create a custom GPT. There's a create function, which ChatGPT actually walks you through the process, right? Or the configure process, where you can go in and put in the information independently yourself, the name of the GPT, the description, the instructions, right? Upload files. You can upload files for your knowledge base. I think last week or whatever I said, you can only upload 10. I think it's 20. It might be 20 pieces of information, rather they're PDFs. files that you can upload. I believe it's 20, but we'll double check today. Code interpreter and data analysis. Allow the GPT to run code. When enabled, this GPT can analyze data, work with files you've uploaded, do math and more. So we're gonna check that box. I don't know why that's not checked automatically. It may be a privacy issue where it's not going to automatically analyze your data if you upload proprietary information from, say, your job or your own company, right? Personal information. And we keep that in mind anytime we're online, right? Be careful what you upload, your personal, your private information from your employer or your own personal business. Anything you upload, be careful. Anything you click on to download, also be careful, right? You don't want to get any malware. You don't want them stealing your data or your information, right? So keep that in mind always. But we're going to check that code interpreter. We're going to go with create because we want ChatGPT to walk us through this. I went through the process of downloading a bunch of PDFs. For your purpose, it can be images, PDFs, right? It can be books. Mine are mainly books. And I'll tell you the topic that we're going to use as a demonstration. So this way, I don't have to go through and download all of that and waste time today with you. I went through the process. I think I downloaded maybe 10 or 15 books in PDF form, either EPUB, EPUB form, or PDF form. Most of them are PDFs, right? So I went through and I downloaded a bunch of books on the topic. The topic I'm going to create a custom GPT is about the history of African American music. So I would go to the sources. You can get papers, research papers, wherever you can download them if you have a membership somewhere, like JSTOR or something like that. Any archive, right? Books that you may have paid for, not audio books, obviously, but ebooks, right? Wherever you get your information from, your PDF, your papers. I got all of mine, and they're based on African American music history. I started off with a topic. I went and found the information. I'm going to import it into the custom GPT. The reason is instead of, I don't know if you can see, let me show you this book. I have a book here called Lost Sounds. And it's pretty much Blacks and the birth of the recording industry from 1890 to 1919. It's a lot of information in there. Now, if I was able to conversate with this book, right? If I was able to ask this book questions, if I was able to use this to write a report or glean more information in written form, I could ask my GPT that say this book is based on, is my report accurate to what's in the book? Help me out with my report or my writing based on the book. So that's what this is. I believe this is one of the PDFs I have that's going to go into the history of African American music custom GPT, right? So that's an example. This is just one. Say I had 10 of these. It's a lot of information. Put that down. And it's heavy. So we're going to start with create. And remember, I have mine stored in Google Drive somewhere. All of the files, I'll import them in. So it's asking us, I'll help you build a new GPT. You can say something like make a creative who helps generate visuals for new products, or, it just gives you examples. I already know what I want to make. So a GPT based on African, the history And it's going to walk us through the process. So even if you forget something, you don't have to remember everything when you're creating it. You can just be general and you can fine tune it later, right? And we're going to use another. Do I have Gemini open? I'll find Gemini. We're going to use another GPT, Google Gemini, to help us with some of these tasks in here when we're building it. Instead of bouncing back and forth to, another ChatGPT screen, we're just going to go to a whole nother one altogether, right? Google Gemini. So GPT based on the history of African American music. That's what I want, right? Yours, obviously, may be something different or maybe something similar. And we can toggle back and forth between the create and configure just to see what it's coming up with on the other end, right? So it's going to suggest a name, Rhythms of Black History. If you don't like that name, because it's conversational, what can we do? We can tell it, hell no, try again in a conversational manner, right? Or we could tell it, no, that's good, or yes, whatever, right? We want to keep that in mind. It's conversational. So I don't mind that. And I can always go back and change that. So I'll say, okay, simple. Okay. We'll take that for now. All right. So now it's going to create a profile image. It's going to generate AI. Well, it's going to be an AI generated profile picture. I don't know if you can add your own. I never tried to add my own profile picture. So we'll just put more realistic. I don't like the cartoony pictures, too tough. So we'll just put it more realistic, right? Simple. Common language, common speak. And then we'll pop over to the configure side to see the more formal settings. This is like a question answer type. That's fine. Let me turn that down. All right. So now we have an image and we have a title for our custom GPT and like what? A minute. So let's pop over to the configure tab. So on the configure tab, that's the information that will show up on the actual GPT. On the right side of our screen is the preview. We have our image, our title, and we have our description, the guide to the history. Now, I found as I change, I believe the instructions, I don't know about necessarily if I upload more files as I go, but I notice as I change instructions, the guide, the description changes. So if you like this description, what I would do is copy it, paste it somewhere, because you may have a description that you really like. You start adding to the instructions, right? And then you look up and your description's all different. You're like, damn it, I like the original one I had. So, but we don't have to worry about it because it's basic. Ours is the history of African American music. So anything related to that. So just on what we created so far, right? On the configure side, we have a set of instructions that ChatGPT generated based on what we were trying to create, right? So let's see what it is. GPT is designed to engage users with in-depth information, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty much saying how the GPT is going to work. Let's go back to create. And these work hand in hand. So there's nothing that's really different between these two. This is more like the behind the scenes, how you came up with this information. This is the actual functioning side of the GPT. So let's go back to create. Does the version of the picture look good? Let's go back. Yes, that's fine, right? You just hit yes. Move this up so I can see it. Now that the profile picture is set, let's refine the GPT's behavior. This question right here, what aspects of African American music history should be emphasized or avoided in our conversations? If you're versed on this or you know exactly what you want, I'm sorry, I got the AC just kicking over there. I might have to go cut that off. If you're more versed in it, you can answer this question yourself and give the details that you want to give, right? What should be emphasized or avoided. There's always common stuff, like obviously you want things that are not factual to be avoided. But so we don't forget anything and we keep the process moving, I'm going to take this question. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy the second half of this in this question, right? I'm going to open up a Gemini, Google Gemini. Where's it at? Thought I had one open. I did not. All right. So we're going to go to close that up. We'll just paste our question in there. Now, Gemini doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm just going to give it, small instructions. Same question from ChatGPT. I'm creating custom. I'm just going to help Gemini along. And remember, I only have to tell it this once because it's going to remember our conversation. So as I need more information or need more help with my prompts to go into my custom GPT and chat GPT, I can come back to this and continue the conversation. Creating custom GPT about African American music history, right? Just to give it a heads up of what the hell is going on. Music history. Let's refine the GPT's behavior. Now, the whole second half of this prompt, I copied right from ChatGPT, remember? And they really should change the name because trying to say that 5 times fast is just ridiculous. All right. And we're just going to let Google Gemini rock out. Now, not only does this help us move the process along, there may be things in here that also give us ideas like, oh, I didn't think about that. Let me make sure this is in there. Oh, let me just ask it to give me more information on cultural significance. Let's see. So I can use this. This is the answer from Gemini. I'm going to copy all of this. What we're going to do, right? Go back to our GPT. We're going to answer this question. What aspects of African American music history should be emphasized or avoided? Boom. So it's updating. The next step we're going to do is going to go find all my PDFs. All right. Now that we set those key points, how would you like me to talk? Guess what? Copy this question. You got it. Google Gemini. We're not going to take all day or all night on these things. Paste a question in there. And remember, it knows the conversation. All I'm going to do is paste a question in there. Gemini is free. I use the free version. I don't pay for the Gemini. Here's our answer. So let's do this right here. This is the tone. This is the interactive, I guess you could say voice, because if you use the phone app, you actually have the option to talk back and forth with the GPT in your phone. So if you have Chat GPT, download the app. Make sure it's the correct app because there's a lot of them in the App Store and the Play Store that look like Chat GPT and are not. Right. So here's our answer for the tone of our GPT. And I think we got enough of that. And actually, it'll let you know what it say. Okay, I think we got enough to get going. Are you good? Let's see. GPT is now set. Would you like to test it out? If there's anything else I would like to refine, I can come back to Google and say, give me some more information. Make sure I didn't forget anything. But we're just going to go through the process, so we don't need to do all that. So we're going to go back to ChatGPT. We're going to look at our configure tab, right? Well, look at our description stayed the same, right? So we got more instructions now. I see. I believe we got some more instructions. Refrains from Eurocentric bias. Now, see, that's maybe something I wouldn't have thought of. So that's cool. Refrains from Eurocentric bias. Let's see if that was in Google Gemini. That might have been in there, right? Let's see. Key figures origin. Okay, I guess that would have been under this, right? Origin and evolution. So the cultural significance. It could have pulled that inflection or that instruction from these key things to emphasize on, right? It could have grabbed that from there. So that's cool. So we have what? On the configure side, we have our image, our name, our description, our starter questions. If you don't like these questions, you can create your own, you can get rid of them. It's just to help people start using your custom GPT. Now, if it's just you, these questions don't matter, but if you're going to let someone else share it or put it in the public, these are test questions that, if they don't know where to start, if this isn't enough information for them, the name or the description, right? Because they can't see the instructions. This is all they're going to see is what's on the right. They're not going to see any of this. All right. So now we go down. Let's go back to the top, right? Let's go over briefly, real quick. We started with create. It walked us through the process. When there was questions about tone, how it's going to interact with people, when there was questions about what it should emphasize, what it should stay away from, we took those questions over to Google Gemini. We told Google Gemini, look, I'm creating a custom GPT, and we let Google Gemini rock, right? We put our questions in there and we let it rock. Be careful when you copy and paste here because we only want the information. We don't need all this up here in the title, right? We don't need the summary at the end unless you want to. But these functions down here is where you can copy. If you hit, this is another good thing about Google Gemini because it's Google, right? It's their chat bot. If you hit this G, it will give you links to whatever information it provided you. So just say we're in here doing some other work. This is just a helpful hint if you're in Google Gemini. Click on this, it'll give us links, right? Which that's what Google search does. It gives you links. Now, if your response was good and you were happy with it, you can always hit thumbs up. That helps the algorithm to let the system know, okay, you did something right. If it wasn't good, you can hit thumbs down. Like, nah, that really wasn't that good. And obviously to share, export. If you want to export this information, say, let's just look at what we got. As a Google Doc, or if you want to email it to somebody. Those are just options over in Google Gemini. But let's get back to ChatGPT, right? It's our custom GPT page. So on the create side, we got all our basic information. On the configure side is more formal, what our GPT is going to look like. The preview is on the right. We got name, description, instructions, conversation starter questions. And now we're going to upload our knowledge base because we want the GPT to not only go by its information under these specific conditions. I don't have to upload anything, right? It's just going to use its own database and what it already has access to do all of these things. Like I don't have to upload, but since I have my own information, let's go to I don't even know what that's there. Let's go to my drive. And my drive is what? African American music history. There we go. These are all the files. I don't believe I can get these right out of Google Drive from ChatGPT. I probably have to download them. Yeah, I'm going to have to download them. So we'll just download them. Maybe we could drag them. So let's cancel that. So let's go to Drive. Let's see if we can download them all, right? Download. So they're going to download the files. Oh, it's going to zip them. I didn't want to do that. No, we'll just do a couple. That way we don't have a zip file. I don't want a zip file. All right, what the hell is that? Get out of there. Cancel download. So let's just pick let's just pick, is my book in there? Lost Sounds. Let me see if my book, Lost Sounds. We're going to use our book, right? So this is one file, and we'll take our blues. We'll ask it to download these. Oh, still going to zip them. Zip them. So we're going to do them one at a time. Come on. Actually, they might be downloaded already. All right. So let's go back to ChatGPT. Downloads. It didn't download yet. There it is. Boom. All right. So we're going to take our PDF. So if you have one or if you have 20, you upload your files. This is going to be the knowledge base that it uses alongside of the information that it has access to in its general database, right? We gave it specific instructions. Now we're going to give it a database. So what I'm going to do later when I'm done is upload all of my files that I downloaded from books that I, encyclopedias, history books, decade books that go by decade or genre, not decade, but timepiece books that concentrate on different time periods. Anything that has the specific information that I'm looking for. But this is demonstration purposes. So now we got everything. We got our name, description, instruction, conversation starter. We got a knowledge base, right? So we wanted to just add the last instruction. Utilize knowledge base, right? Utilize knowledge base when what? When relevant. Or all the time. It's going to utilize it anyway because we uploaded it, but we just want to make sure we add that instruction. So now we got everything done. We good. Here's our preview. Then we go over to the create function. That's going to create our GPT. Boom. Here's where it gives us the option. Is it only for me? Is it for anyone with the link? Or am I going to put it out in the public in the GPT store? We're going to put it out in the public because you can never have too much African American history, right? Even though this is about music. Hold on, maybe I got them all downloaded. I'm bugging. Let me see if I got my books downloaded. Yeah, I do have them downloaded. I'm going to try to upload them. Let's see. Oh, no, that's music streaming. Those are other ones. All right. But here's our share function. Once our GPT is complete, we got to determine where it's going. Only me, obviously self-explanatory. Anyone to link GPT store. Ours going to the GPT store. What category? Lifestyle, education, research and analysis, productivity, writing, other. I would say that's under education. Or you can put it, research, wherever you want to put it. No, we'll put it under research. Research and analysis. We'll hit save. So now it's going to save that custom GPT. When it's done, we'll go look in the GPT store to make sure that it's there. Then you get that green box up here. If you get a error message, it will be up here. Like there's something wrong, like one of the files, like you have too many files. It doesn't say you have too many files. I think I uploaded too many one day and it just kept giving me an error. So if you get an error, it may be you have too many files uploaded. You can view it right from here. You can copy it and share it with someone. That's the link, but we're going to go to the GPT store. Excuse me. Anything you change, say I didn't like the name and I want to come back and change the name. It should auto update, but you always want to make sure you update it yourself. It's pretty much like saving the changes that you made. You don't want to just rely on it auto updating. Make sure you update it if you ever come back in to make changes. So let's go back out. I forgot the name of it that quick. Ain't that a shame? But we can go to mine and we'll see it, right? Rhythm, because it came up with the name. That's why I forgot the name. Rhythms of Black History. That's the name. So let's go back to the and remember how to get to any part of the custom GPTs. Explore. If there's a custom GPT that you like, you can save it in your sidebar. So you always have access to it, right? So we're going to search for rhythms, right? What the hell was the name of it? I know that ain't how you spell rhythms. We ain't playing that game. That rhythms of, let's see. There it is. Rhythms of Black History. That's my GPT. Has my name on it. The numbers next to the custom GPT, say you look at someone else's, you say, hey, I like that one, or I'm looking for one that's, someone else made. The numbers next to it is how many times someone used it. Like up here, Lyric Poet has 5,000 users, or people used it 5,000 times, which is cool. So that'll also help you determine which one you're going to use, because you may pick something that's common, like a PDF summarizer, and there's 100 of them. You don't have to, just look for the one with the the most, I guess, uses, or the higher numbers of uses. So here's our GPT we just made. Has my name, category. So let's see if it works. The custom GPTs I use a very few letters. I'm not letters, words, because I want the GPT to do the work. So if there was something about the history of African American music, and I just wanted to say learn about I'm just going to put in piano. If I want to know how the piano, how we use the piano, was it effective, how we changed it, how it was introduced, I'm just going to put in the word piano, and that's how these custom GPTs should work, right? Try putting piano in a Google search, or even a regular GPT. It's just going to describe what a piano is to you. So this is even referencing the book we put in our knowledge base. And it gave us some information on the piano based on one word as it interacts with African American music history. So that, to me, once I put all of my information in here, my 10 other books, or 9 other books, or 19, I think you can put 20. I said sources in there. Once I put all that information in here, now it has, even bigger knowledge base along with its own database that it has, right? So that's it. We have a custom GPT, and they could be used for anything. Kids are back in school, young people are back in school, back in college. If they need help on different subjects, you can create a custom GPT for that. Extremely helpful. If they're struggling, or just in general, to help them if they're not outside of what is going on in school, and make sure whatever the school allows, a policy of your particular school or school district. Some of them may allow kids to be helped by AI. Some may not, but you can create a custom GPT for anything, for the public or your personal use, your community groups, you and your friends, your study groups, your businesses, things like that. Just be careful with your personal information that you put into these, right? And I think that's it. So let me show you. Notebook LM is similar, right, to a custom GPT, right? Notebook LM. It's a Google product, I believe. I think it's Google. Yeah, powered by Google. There you go, right down there. So Notebook LM only deals with the information you upload to it. Let's just look at it, right? You can try it up here. You can log in and all that, but let's see what it looks like. I created a notebook in Notebook LM about African American music history. I didn't do it in ChatGPT because I wanted to go through that process with everybody. But Notebook LM, you can upload your sources. This only deals with the information you upload. It's not going to go to the internet. It's not going to go to any other database that it has. It's only going to deal with your sources. It's super specific. But oh, it ain't gonna let me play the audio. Will it let me play the audio? No, it won't. But basically, it's the same concept as a custom GPT. It allows you to conversate with the GPT, or in this case, the notebook, conversate about the sources that you uploaded. The difference, let's do a new one, right? Let's go here. We do a new one. Let's get out of here. Right? Let's open up a new one. Oh, let's go back to that main page, right? This is what it looks like when you first log in, because you won't have any notebook. These are example notebooks down here. Here's one I started on. Let's get rid of that one. That was one we just looked at. There was nothing. But when you go to create, this one is a little different because it allows you, just like ChatGPT, to upload documents or slides. You could also put a website link. If you have a link to a paper, to an article, to a story, to anything, you can put the link in here, and it will go to that link, and you will be able to, it will retrieve the information from that link, and you'll be able to interact with it in your notebook. If you just want to, if you have text, like if you have a transcript, not obviously a Word document, because you can add that over here. But if you just have text from, email or something like that, you can copy and paste the text in here. So this gives you a few more options: a link, plain text, documents or slides from, say, Google Drive. And when you add that information, let's go back to the beginning, get rid of that, delete. This is what it looked like. Your sources will show up over here. And here's where you would conversate with your sources, or source. Just like ChatGPT, this is your box down here, your prompt area, right? So let's just use, and it has sample questions already. Look at that, like ChatGPT. I didn't create them. These are just sample questions to help people get started, right? So we'll just put that in there, just to see what the output looks like. This one is free. Notebook LM is free. Again, I believe it's a Google product, so they got access to a lot of shit, right? So based off that question, how did the Harlem Renaissance contribute to the development of African American culture and identity? And it will give us the source, right? And remember, Notebook LM only deals with our sources. It's not going to scour the internet or its database. It's only going to deal with what I uploaded. So if you wanted to do a report, right, on something, you can put your sources over here, upload your sources right there, ask your questions, start formulating your essay, your thesis questions and all that good stuff, right? And you actually have your source material right here. And as you obviously hover over the source, it gives you the information. Now, obviously these are not in APA format. They're not in, bibliography or format. So, but it's letting you know where it got the information from, which source it got it from, in case you forgot. You got 20 sources over here, in case you want more information on it, right? Rise of Ragtime Blues, 17. And if you click on it, it will take you right to the page, I'm assuming, or right to the text, that it retrieved this information from. So that's cool. So that was added to today's lesson, right? We built the custom GPT, ChatGPT, from scratch. And we also learned about Notebook LM, right? Which this may be helpful for students because it's going to interact directly with the material they upload and nothing outside of that, pretty much, right? What is one? Let's see what one is, just to make sure. What is one? Yes. So the numbers coincide with what number source is over here. So number one obviously is number one. Number 20 would be number 20, whatever number 20 is over here. You have to count. And I think that's all I got, right? So we learned two things today. This one is a lot easier than ChatGPT, right? This is way easier. You just create a new notebook, upload some sources, and you off to the races, pretty much. ChatGPT, more in-depth, more detailed, more specified, larger knowledge base outside of the material you upload. They're both conversational because they're chatbots, right? So they both will work in that manner. And I think that's all I got. How long we been up here? Almost an hour. Look at that. That's almost perfect. So we got shows coming up. Like I said, let me see if I can pull some of the flyers up, right? Conspiracy Corner. I got some links from some conspiracies. We might can revisit some old ones, but I think we got a lot of new ones. Especially since we have the election season coming up and we have all of the cyber things going on and all of that. So that's always, this is always prime time for conspiracies and things like that. Election cycles. We have some pretty high profile people get in some trouble recently, pass away recently. There's always a war going on somewhere, right? So there's a lot of information out there, misinformation, disinformation. So on Conspiracy Corner, when we do those shows, right, that's what we're going to look at. We're going to pull up some information, maybe watch some videos and talk about things like that. Another show we have, which is damn near close to Conspiracy Corner, is the billionaire problem. I believe a billionaire just got indicted. So not that these two shows will go together, but there'll be topics we can discuss. Basically, the billionaire problem is based on wealth inequality. We'll deal with topics about that and how billionaires fit into our ecosystem. Right? Are they beneficial or are they a detriment? Are they helping or are they hurting? Things like that. So we'll look at that. But it's mainly based on wealth inequality. Yes, Brass. We need both sides of the story, right? We just can't have one side of the story. So no, it should be interesting. You see, I got Lady Justice up there, right? We're gonna look for fair, balanced information online. When they right, they right. When they wrong, we're gonna let them know that they wrong. But those are definitely two shows that we're gonna be doing. The Billionaire Problem and Conspiracy Corner. I think we're gonna do this one next with all of the P. Diddy stuff going on. I saw some interesting things on Twitter about old footage that people were kind of bringing this stuff up, and it's kind of coming to fruition. Almost too they coincide almost too much, but that is for another show. So I hope everybody learned everything. Oh, let me show you what I put in the description. There should be a link for, I don't know if you can see that. Let me look on my phone. I just want to see if you can see it. Because if you can't, it's a Google Doc you can pull up. It basically it doesn't look too clear unless it's my phone. But there's a document either way in the description. It's a link. And it's basically a chart. Oh, I can't I wanted to try to see if I can share the screen for that. Present. Let's see if we can share the screen. I gotta get rid of all. Okay, share screen. Let me see if I can find that window. Maybe this will be better. All right, that's a little bit better, right? Yeah. No. Basically, this is what the link in the description is. It's just a little chart that shows best use cases for the different social media platforms. Like, what is Facebook good for? Instagram, Twitter. And it should help people who are uploading content, looking for content, trying to figure out ways to capitalize on their content. The best places to share it, in what form probably to share it in also. But it's helpful. This way you're not wasting your time on Instagram with content that's better suited for Twitter, right? But this is a chart. There's a link in the description for it. It's a Google Drive link. It's just a PDF. So I made this trying to give people useful things that most people, especially content creators, can refer to time to time without going crazy in Google searches or YouTube searches. And I think that's it, right? So today we built a custom GPT from scratch, and we looked at Notebook LM. And that one went pretty quick because that's super easy. But it also has its limitations on the information that it has access to. So I hope everybody learned something. I appreciate y'all coming through. Let me look in the chat, make sure I got everybody. Peace to Brass, Chef, Rush, anybody who was on Twitch, anybody who was on Facebook. And we will see you guys and girls, ladies and gents, on another show. Hopefully, I believe this is going to be our next one, right? Conspiracy Corner. If there's a particular conspiracy you want to look at, because there's a lot of them, put it in the comments. If you got any questions, put them in the comments. Hit the like button if you learned something. If you didn't, then hit thumbs down. Just engage. Hit the notification icon so you know when we're live on our channel. If you think it'd be helpful to someone else, share it and subscribe to the channel. And that's all that I have. So y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all on the next show. Peace.
Drive Media. Hey, Drive Media. It's DQ, baby. Drive Media. Check. Try media innovations, we got them wait. What? Took a little minute, was patient, but now we take it. Anytime we want this game, my situation is entertainment intertwined with information. Alchemist soul, how we move the tassel and roll. It's amazing how we can turn something brass to gold. And we steady making hits. Architect with the prop in the scripts. It's logical that the product will flip. My boy Chef did the lineup, I'm fresh in the bitch. Carnivorous podcast, the newest show on the list. DQ on the boat, so I'm rocking the ship. Squad the music gon' be dope and the artist legit. Hold my beard, concrete chord, then stepped in the door. See, that's my man and he reppin' for show. And true saviors a player with flavor. Lexicon Taylor, lines on point like a laser. We need that paper, we building the vault. Cause you niggas don't listen, y'all be waiting to talk. Lack accountability and try to make it our fault. But opposing us is trying to arm wrestle the hawk. You coming up short on your re-up, nigga we up. Really wouldn't want to be up. I kick my feet up. My beef is wagyu and my truck is all speakers. Bills is all blue and my blunt is all reefer. With possible deniability, that boy eater. to teach you.